Systematic risk. You know that the systematic risk is measured by beta. So beta has to be estimated. How can we estimate beta? We have to use the regression between the market return and the return of the security for which we are going to measure beta. So this time I'm going to show you a very simple way of estimating beta of a security. So for estimating beta, you need to find the slope of the regression line that is showing the relationship between the return of the market and the return of the security for which we are going to calculate beta. So for sure we need the data, we need the y values and the x values, that means y and x for the regression estimation. So in this case, the y is returns of the security for which we are going to calculate beta, and the x is the returns of the market. Let us give the example of US market. So we need to find the stock prices of US market. So let us go to Yahoo Finance to download any of the stock price, let us select one of the stock of New York Stock Exchange. So you can download it from different sources. Let me choose Yahoo Finance for that. So finance.yahoo.com. Now let us search any of the company. Let's say General Electric, GE. Let me search. Okay, we have found it already. So if we go to the page for General Electric, now let us select the historical data. You can see that we have several items here: debt, then open price, high, low price, closing price, and adjusted closing price. Actually, we will have to take the adjusted closing price, because if we follow the double asterisk, that means if we go to the bottom, you can see that the adjusted closing price is actually adjusted for both dividends and splits. So dividends and splits are already accounted in the adjusted closing price. Okay, so we will have to take the adjusted closing price, but for now we can download the whole data, and later on we can delete all other data that are not necessary. Okay, now we want to take it for 5 years, 5 years, and we want to take the monthly data. The frequency of data will be monthly. So for 5-year period, monthly data. Now I click apply. So we get the updated table of data. Now let us click download data. Well, we have got it here downloaded. Now what we need to do, we need to also download the market data for the same frequency and for the same period of time. So our market is S&P 500. So let us click on S&P 500. Okay, you can also find it by searching, searching in the search box. If you search for S&P, you will get it. So let us click on historical data, then click on the duration, 5-year, and monthly. Okay, then click apply, and after that let us download it. So we have got 2 workbooks. Let us open those in Excel. Well, now we actually do not need the open, high, low, close prices and also the volume. So let us delete all those columns. Volume also we don't need, so let me delete it. This is for General Electric. And now I'm going to bring all after deleting the unnecessary columns, I'm going to bring those in the same workbook so that we can easily calculate. Delete. Then let me copy then let me paste it here. So just to check whether we have the same dates or not, 1/10/16, 1/10/16, and at the bottom we can see that it is the same 1/10/19, 1/10/19. So we can delete the second column where we have the date. Well, so actually we have to mark which one is the General Electric return adjusted closing price and which one is the market. So let me type PGE, to indicate that this is the price of the individual security, and this is the PM. Okay, so what we can do, we can actually replace the adjusted closing because we already know that these are the prices. Well, so now what we can do, we can calculate the return. Okay, we can calculate the return RGE, that means return of GE, and in the next column we will calculate RM, that means return of the market. So how can we calculate the return of GE? We cannot calculate the return of the first month in this table, so the return will be equal to the next month, that means the price of July, closing price of July, minus the previous month closing price, that means the closing price of, sorry, it was June. Okay, closing price of June minus closing price of May divided by closing price of May. Sorry, closing price of May. Enter. Okay, same calculation, so we can just copy the formula and we can check it. C4 minus C3, C4 minus C3 divided by C3. That's fine. Okay, now we can select both and double click to get all the returns. So after getting the return, what we can do, we can calculate the beta using a very simple formula, which is slope. Actually, this is the slope when you regress, when you find the regression relationship between Y and X. So in this case, Y is the individual security, that means the return of General Electric, returns of General Electric, and the X's are the returns of the market, that means the returns of the S&P 500. So we have to select all the values of known Y's, that means the returns of General Electric. Okay, then comma, then we have to select all the returns of the market. Then close the bracket and then enter. So you can see the beta is actually 1.332184, or if you round it, then it is 1.33. This is how we can calculate the beta of any security that will help us to measure the systematic risk of the security. So how can we actually interpret this value? Beta 1.33, that means when the S&P 500 return increases by 1%, the return of General Electric will increase by 1.33%. Okay, that means the volatility of General Electric is more than the volatility of S&P 500. And if you want to be more specific, you can say the volatility is 1.33 times the volatility of the S&P 500 stocks on average. Thank you very much.